Hey guys, we've got news for September 1st on Global, and this week, rejoining me once again to discuss the news is DarkFlare. So you can say hello, DarkFlare.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Sins.
Glad to have you back. So we've got a decent amount of news to discuss this week, but before we get into it, we're going to address probably the biggest news of all is the Facebook issue that people have been experiencing for the past week. So just if you happen to have been off the planet for the week and you didn't hear about what was going on, ever since early Wednesday of last week, players that were linked to Facebook were unable to log in, and that actually included you as well, didn't it, Darkflare?
Oh, yeah, I was affected for, 5 days now?
Oh yeah, like five days and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was no way for Facebook players to log in. There was like an authentication problem. There's been tons of speculation back and forth. Is it Gumi's fault? Is it Facebook's fault? Of course, we're never really going to get an official response to that. That's going to be all behind closed doors how it went. But at this point, it is fixed. So for those of you who have not heard, maybe you're just waking up Tuesday morning in the news. If you're on Facebook, it has been resolved. You can log in. So I will say briefly, for players that are logging in, a few people when they log in, that they've actually never been logged out before. And when you first log in, after being logged out, you're greeted with a message that says, do you want to overwrite the current device data with the synced account? I forget the exact message, but it's like a really scary message if you've never seen it before. It sounds like it's like erasing your data from the phone. It's not anything bad like that. Just hit yes, and it'll sync your account to the phone, and you'll log in just fine. When you log in for the first time, after being logged out, your settings will be reset. You've got to reset your animation settings and all that in the options menu. But yeah, it's fixed. You can log in. So you've logged in since then. Now since then is right,
Oh,
Darkflare?
yeah. Yep, I did the events, and I was able to do the resets and all that. So, yep, I'm definitely back in now.
Excellent. And I will address one more thing that a lot of people are getting confused about. When you first log in this week, there's compensation in your mail. It's 150 lapis and like 10 energy pots. So many players I've seen, they log in, they see that compensation, they're like, this is all we're getting? That is not the case. That compensation, that little bitty tiny compensation, is because maintenance last Thursday was extended for an hour, so everyone got the generic 150 lapis and some energy pots because maintenance went 1 hour late last week. That is not the compensation for the Facebook right thing. So as you see in the news, further details about the compensation will be coming. They are absolutely going to give players a bigger compensation than 150 lapis. That's it. So it's just a lot of people log in and immediately. I saw on Discord they were getting kind of angry because they saw that late maintenance compensation and they thought that was the Facebook compensation. It's not.
Yeah, hopefully it's lapis, tickets, pogs, all that fun
Oh yeah,
items.
exactly. Yeah, we don't have the news for it yet, and I wish we did. We could discuss it, but they just fixed Facebook, a few hours ago. So the big compensation news will come in later, and all we can do is hope that it's really good for the players that were affected, like you, Darkflare.
Oh, yeah, I really hope so, man. I really do.
hmm Now to get on to something a little bit more positive, or is it? Is the banner for the week? So it's Fabled Guardian Jecht and Neovision's Awakened Seymour. So you actually requested to be on this week, Darkflare. So is it because Final Fantasy X is a big game for you?
Oh, yeah, I played it multiple times, beat it. I played X2 as well. Got 100% in it. Even in the Titus minigame, I was able to get his celestial weapon.
Oh, geez. If you heard my news video last week, I said I was never able to do it. I saw a lot of players in the comments on that video saying that they were able to beat the Chocobo race. You guys are insane. I
Yeah,
I tried so hard. I could never beat that Chocobo race with the
it's
perfect
really
score.
it's really easy. All you need is RNG, the balloons in the right placement. Then it's really easy.
Oh man, I tried so many times, couldn't get it. But oh well. So Jecht is premium, like the usual premium stuff. It's limited shard availability, expensive step up, etc., etc. I think it's gonna be 60K for the pity, and then you'll get Seymour along the way. Again, no special perks for this banner, like vision cards and all that. It's just a regular premium banner. So he's getting upgraded though. So did he need an upgrade, DarkFlare?
He's a tank on the Japanese side, right?
He is a tank and a damage dealer. And I gotta be honest here, I was coming into this news beforehand. I was ready to like downplay Jecht because, in my opinion, he is kind of similar to the original release of Yuna, where he's a premium unit, and he absolutely did not feel premium in any possible way, in my opinion. I felt like he was very, very weak for the premium price tag. He is a tank, and he tanks just fine. He's not anything special at it. He's just, a tank. He's good at it, but whatever. It's a tank. Pretty much all the tanks are good at tanking, so, who cares about that? The other thing was his damage. His damage was very mediocre. So it's the fact that he could deal some damage did not justify the fact that he was also a premium unit. Again, this is all just my opinions. I've talked about this in Discord in the past, and people have argued saying, "Oh, Jecht is amazing." So it's just my opinion on the matter. I don't know. So you think he was overall okay, DarkFlare, in the JP version?
I think it was okay because on the Japanese version they don't have what we have, like Chow, Mei, our really OP units. So
That's true.
I think as a tank, I think Jecht would suffice enough.
Okay, but he is getting upgraded. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll go over his card in a moment as well. Actually, let's do the card right now. So this is Jecht's card. Now, this I will say, this is absolutely premium. The card is amazing. So those guys that watch my video, how big of a fan I am of the Dragon Quest card, Power Cut, because it gives 3,000 base HP, which then scales on buffs, etc. And I love that. I love HP on my units. This gives 5,000 base HP and 130 defense, and this is not limited to tank. This is universal. It gives guts, it gives flat HP and defense, and it gives 50 LB damage. So this card was and still is amazing. It is only from EX3 Premium Jecht, though. So what about you, DarkFlare? How's this card?
It looks really good. Full units could use it, like defense scaling units, HP driven units, LB damage dealers, and whatnot. It looks really amazing, especially for units like Sylvie or units that need HP to survive.
Oh yeah, definitely good for bulk. I do wish it had Spirit on it as well. Even though Jecht is only a physical tank, Jecht does have Omni cover with a limited duration to cooldown. So it's not full uptime, but he does have Omni cover, so he can cover magic. Not to mention, just Spirit is good. And for a premium card, I feel like having some base Spirit, even if it's only let's say 100 Spirit instead of 130, is really justified, and it should have had it, but it doesn't. But it's still a really good card either way.
Oh, yeah.
And then his TMR and STMR. So his TMR is fine. It's a hat. It's only usable by physical tanks. It gives double hand physical defense and attack, which is a little bit weird because it's only usable by tank units, but okay. 100 defense. So it's a really nice tank hat. And then his STMR is really weird. So it's boost damage of certain LBs for caster. So we're going to jump to the JP page real quick. It's a boost of a 100x LB modifier for 5 turns for the person that wears it. But it's only for physical attacks that scale on defense. Now, to my knowledge, the only unit that even has that, the only relevant unit, I'm not talking about super old units that no one cares about. The only relevant unit that even has this is, I think, Warrior of Light. Maeve has it as well, but Maeve's LB is morale scaling, and I don't know for sure, but I would assume because Titus's STMR doesn't work for morale, Jecht may not as well, but I don't actually know. It might not. There's no way for me to test on the JP server because morale doesn't exist.
Yeah, would his STMR work with the new Mont too? Doesn't he defense skill too?
Yes, I believe it would. So yes, it would increase Mont, the fledgling warrior, and then Jecht himself. It would increase all their LBs by 100x. That being said, Mont and fledgling warriors LBs are pretty weak, and adding a 100x modifier to them will certainly help, but they're still pretty weak. And I don't know if that's going to make them, like, quote unquote, a meta damage dealer. Like, I don't think you're going to take Warrior of Light to Dark Visions as a damage dealer just because you increase his LB mod by 100x. Because you don't need a tank for Dark Visions, and that's not going to change. So, yeah, I don't know. So it's really good for Jecht himself because Jecht does damage. Let's go ahead and scroll down real quick to show you Jecht's modifier. So Jecht's modifier on his SLB is 350, and with his own STMR, that is 450. And because he does have the physical attacker flag, he can use Tybus's STMR on top. As you see, the durations do allow that to work. So that's a 480x LB modifier, which is okay. Now, that sounds really amazing, but it's really not. If you remember, what's his name? Knights of Grantshout on the global server have a 450 modifier, and pretty much no one uses them anymore. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, a 480x modifier on a tank is usable, but it's not like super meta. Now, we're going to jump real quick to his upgrade. Now, his upgrade is, well, then let's go. This is his Imbue and Amplify. The global upgrade, notice that it got a boost to damage to certain LBs. So here's the JP version. The JP version is just the Imbue and Amplify. There is no LB mod boost. So until we know the exact extent of the LB mod boost, we can't really say how strong he's going to be, because if it's like a 20x modifier boost, who cares? If it's just making a crazy number, if it's a 400x modifier boost, obviously he's top tier. So it's going to be somewhere in between.
Oh yeah, probably 50, I'm guessing.
50? I feel like 50 would be a little bit not enough to make him a big enough value to chase. I don't know. That's just my opinion here, but I feel like 50 would still not be enough. That'd bring him to a 530? Yeah, 530x modifier, which is that's high, but
yeah, not high enough.
Yeah, I feel like just you need more, because he is waterlocked as well. I don't know. So you think 50? I'd say he needs to be like 100 to be something I would say, okay, I recommend chasing him at this point, because then that would bring it to 580, which at that point it can be good. I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be really, really high to draw someone to chase him. But I could be off. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Was he totally fine exactly as is from the JP server, as people have argued to me in the past? Does he need a crazy, crazy buff to be worth it on global? What do you guys think? How about you, DarkFlare? Do you plan to pull for him?
At least one copy for him, because he's an SLB, and we have the permanent shard dungeon. Mm-hmm. So eventually I will get him to EX2, EX3.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, if he's good, he's good. If he's not, so be it.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. And again, and this, if for example, this does work on Maeve as well. I don't know, because Maeve is morale LB, and I don't know if this is going to work or not. But if it does work on Maeve, I'll have to do math and recalculate Maeve with another 100 modifier, because currently Maeve's LB is like almost irrelevant in Clash of Wills, and I feel like another 100x mod is not going to save Maeve, but that actually would require math, assuming it even works. I don't know. We'll have to find that out on Thursday when someone pulls Jecht. And then Seymour, the Awakened 4-star. So I told people when this came out in JP to start saving your Seymours. That being said, Seymour is in the purged unit pool, meaning you can only even get Seymour from the EX pools. He's a 4-star unit. When I put out that news like 6 months ago when it came out in JP, I have to this day never pulled a single Seymour. I only have one original copy saved. That is it. And that's because I have never pulled him in 6 months, which is annoying. How about you, DarkFlare?
I have a couple copies of him, but not enough to make a meal vision.
Oh man, it feels bad because what the biggest thing about him is his STMR. It's a 2-handed magic and spirit staff with 25% of Esper stats and Esper evocation and all that. So this is basically the new unit, well, the current unit is premiums, best in slot because she wants to go 2-handed, which really sucks because she loses her Chronicle weapon, but her Chronicle weapon is still 1-handed, and it is definitely more damage to use a 2-hander with the variance change. I I will not be able to get this with STMR on day one because I don't have enough Jechts. I guess I could. I'm not Seymour's. I guess I could Omniprism him and STMR Mogul him. That feels extreme, and I'm not going to do that. I'll just off-banner more eventually. If he gets added to the pool, he might not even get re-added to the pool. Like, they didn't re-add Guy and stuff, so I don't know.
Don't we get him for free from Vision World or something?
I don't think so. I think in JP, we get his shard. You're going to get 75 shards, which will help you get him to... you might even get a Prism, potentially. But just like Vayne from the Final Fantasy event, Vayne, they never gave a single copy of the actual unit Vayne. And I don't think in JP they gave a single copy of Seymour. They only gave shards and maybe a Prism, but no original copies. Meaning, you're going to need to pull 2 more copies to get the STMR. Maybe 3 more if they don't give a Prism. And that really sucks.
Oh yeah, big time.
Now, as far as what he does with his upgrade, he is a SOB unit. He becomes a magical cover tank and a dark evoker. So his LB does dark evocation damage. It actually can do, like, sort of okay damage. Not real. I don't know. It's like okay for beginners, but not... It's hard to say an evocation unit is good for beginners because evocation gear is very specific and not exactly common for beginners. So I don't know. I feel like by the time you have the gear to make him do damage that could be okay, at that point you've got better options anyway. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also a magical cover tank. The real big thing about him is he does a preemptive 200% AoE dark resist buff, and he can do a 200% dark resist buff on demand for the party. So for a few fights that really need dark resist, he's a good option. One of them is, like, for example, the Belphegor trial. For those players that don't have enough dark resist gear to go around and you can't do something like a really quick 3-turn clear or something, Seymour will actually be a great option for Belphegor. He can be the magical cover tank. He can also be the dark resist buffer, meaning you need a lot less dark resist gear in your party because you're getting 200% permanent uptime from Seymour being there. So that's nice.
Oh yeah, it is,
Mm-hmm.
And especially some dark vision battles too with a dark element.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's pretty much all he does. He's got a dark evocation LB and he covers magic with the dark resist.
So he's just a bonus unit pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Although not for me because I don't have enough copies.
Maybe you'll get him one day.
I hope. Honestly speaking, I'm really considering using a few tickets on this banner. Not because I really care about Jecht, because I want another copy of Seymour. So I don't know. Because if you remember the what was it, the banner that had Rubicant and Barbarisha on, was it, I think, Olive's banner? Like, I pulled on Olive's banner on both the accounts I've been playing, and, like, I pulled something like 40 Rubicants between the 2 accounts. So the 4-star rate is extremely high on these banners.
Oh, yeah. And I've been keep on getting Waka. Oh, man. 3 in 1 pull.
It's crazy. We did that. And another thing is the Chronicle Battle Sin. By memory, this one is a boss fight, not a farming fight, I think. This is where we get the Yuna upgrade. I swear I thought that the Yuna upgrade came from Vision World, and I think I said in the news video it was a limited time upgrade. I was apparently mistaken. It's a permanent upgrade, so anyone can get Yuna's necklace at any time once this is released. It's permanent content, so if you can't beat it, you can't beat this like on day one or whatever. It's a permanent upgrade at all times. There you go. So the missions are no KOs, beat it in 5 or less for the crystal, 4 or less for the emblem, and the upgrade to Yuna's Estimar. So the only change to the upgrade, it changes the buff. So the stats are all identical to the old version, but the active ability, Hymn of the Faith, that currently boosts evocation modifiers by 30x, it goes to 80x, and this includes LBs. And that does not stack with the original version. So if you've got like an old copy plus an upgraded copy, you can't combine the 30 and the 80x, only the highest applies.
Oh, dang, that sucks.
I know. We thought on the JP server like they were going to stack. It was going to make evokers really, really strong. But it does help because the 80x modifier, if you remember, I think like Neovision's Terror, her LB is 80x modifier evocation anyway. So this like literally doubles Terra's damage. So just for this. So this is a really big deal for all evokers across the board, not just Yuna. All evokers love this new item.
Okay, good. Hopefully, once I get it, it'll make my Yuna so much better too.
Definitely. Very, very, very nice upgrade. And then Vision World. So people were expecting the raid because the Jecht event on the JP server, this event was actually a raid event. Vision World came with the Kamari banner. My speculation is that because they're going to be extending all events from the whole Facebook scenario, I don't think, technically speaking, it's even possible for 2 raids to be running at the same time because they both use a shared resource. So they probably decided to delay the raid until next week. That way they can extend the old raid this week, and they're giving us Vision World instead. And then the next week will be the raid, which is fine. Whatever, who cares? One raid. So we're going to be going on like nine weeks in a row of raid or something insane. I don't know how many exactly, but it's going to be just like so long of raids.
Oh yeah, really crazy,
It's bonkers. But it's Vision World. So this one on the JP server was relatively simple to perfect score. Everyone got the shared rank 1. Kind of like Xenogears and some other Vision Worlds we've gotten that was all shareable. So as long as your account is decently strong, it shouldn't be too challenging to perfect score. But it does depend on the level of your account. But it shouldn't be that bad. Oh, I didn't even notice my browser. It looks like the entire thing is open immediately from day one. That's awesome. I personally prefer that. I really don't like when they stagger releases of like Dark Visions and Vision Worlds and all. So okay, you can farm it all from day one. How do you feel about that, DarkFlare?
I'll just go in, try capping all the bosses, and on my days off, try perfect the bosses. So
nice.
I mean, with the global units, it should be really easy, right?
It should be. Yeah, this actually wasn't even that hard on the JP server. The only fight that I had any trouble whatsoever on the JP server was, I think it was this one, Gagazet Prominence, the Seymour Flux fight. That one gave me some headaches on the JP server, and you might be kind of like wondering, like, wait a minute, isn't that like an early fight? It is an early fight, but it's assuming it wasn't changed from JP. Seymour Flux has permanent, unremovable 90% general mitigation, and it really wants you to use Yuna. And because I'm super stingy and I didn't want to crown Yuna on the JP server, my uncrowned Yuna struggled to cap it because my evocation gear on JP is incredibly bad. And I struggled to cap it because you kind of want to use evokers because of the permanent mitigation. Only evokers can bypass that. And I struggled a little bit. I eventually got it. And it's not that hard. And if you have a crowned Yuna, you decide to go ahead and crown her. It's super easy. It's very easy if you crown Yuna.
Oh yeah, my Yuna is crowned. Oh yeah, she's really powerful right now. So hopefully I can do a good build for her
Very
and just
nice.
OTK that.
Very nice. And now you don't have to crown her to beat it. Like I said, in JP, I did not crown her, and I still perfect scored it after a little bit of work. And the final boss was really easy to cap. At least it was in JP. On global, we don't know if they're going to change it, or maybe global stuff makes it easier, harder, etc. We don't know.
Yeah, I hope they don't buff the bosses again.
Oh, geez. And here's the rewards. So again, rank 1 is shareable. So as long as you put in the effort and you have the capacity to hit rank 1, you will get 10,000 lapis. Oh, I'm just noticing for the first time they are finally upgrading the dark matter. Is this the first time, DarkFlare, that we're getting 2,000 dark matter from Dark Visions?
I think so. Normally it was what, 800?
800. It's always been. Oh my God! Did they finally take notice that we have to get more dark matter to get prepared for the 2 Anders coming up later? I'm so happy. I'm so happy they listened. Like I swear. Yeah, first time. So great news. I'm just noticing 2,000 dark matter. I would assume per month going forward, it will always be this way. So we really need that to get ready for the future weapons, assuming that Global is going to bring them. And I hope they do.
Yeah. Was it like this on JP, or is JP still the same?
Oh, no. On JP, they started getting 2,000 dark matter per month like a year ago, like a year earlier. So we are super late for 2,000 dark matter per month on global. Like I actually mentioned this in a video in the previous Dark Visions, the rant video I did. I talked about how we're like so far behind on dark matter because we're like a year late to get the 2,000 upgrades. We're missing like 1,200 a month for like 12 months, which is tons of dark matter. But it's better to fix it now than continue to ignore it. So that's good news.
Oh yeah, it is.
And then it is a vision world, meaning we're going to farm and get all kind of gear. Let's go over the gear piece by piece. So the bandana is a 52 attack power, a little bit of resist, and it gives killers to fairies and reaper, which is pretty good. That's a really good helmet, actually. This one, yes. Okay, so this spirit lance. I'm not entirely sure how they are going to do this. Okay, so this is the STMR of the 7-star Kimahri. They did just give the 7-star Kimahri again on the rerun on the current Mog King, but I don't think they gave his STMR moguls in the Mog King, did they?
No, his STMR moguls weren't in there.
I didn't think so. So they reran Kimahri, but they forgot to give the STMR mogul. So for a player that didn't have the Kimahri from like 3 years ago and where he got his STMR for free, I guess you have to use a normal STMR mogul on him to get the Spirit Lance in order to upgrade it. Or maybe they're going to give the STMR moguls during this week's event, because that feels like an oversight that they forgot to give you STMR moguls for the rerun of Kimahri, because I don't think they expect you to normal Moogle a free unit. I don't know. So we'll have to see. Go ahead.
Because I don't think so. That would be a bad thing on Gummy's part.
Oh, for sure. And this spear does become really strong for, as you see it right here, Ronso Warrior Kimahri. So that is the new Neo Visions Kimahri. It is not an upgrade of the old Kimahri. It should be out next week. Kimahri is a brand new Neo Vision. We'll talk about him more next week's video. But this is his Chronicle weapon. So I really hope that was just an oversight and they forgot to give the STMR moguls for Kimahri, and they'll give them this week. So we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then this accessory, what does it do? It boosts damage against birds and beasts. Okay, yes, it's a good killer accessory. Very nice. Clothing, it gives percent stats and 60 attack. Okay, it's fine. It's not great. Well, it is 60 attack power, so that's decent. Again, this gear is all pretty good. A ring with some resistances and double hand. Oh, that's pretty good. Very nice. Then this one, boost LB damage, boost all stat double hand for Final Fantasy X units. Pretty good. And then a killer. This is a usual killer Vision Worlds get. It gives undead killer by 180 for 5 turns at the start of the battle. It's only for Final Fantasy X units and X2. So that's good.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, that's all of that. Oh yeah, bring Jecht for bonus, etc. So this, you got to farm this starting Thursday. But the good news is we can go directly to the final boss and farm there. Because again, usually the final boss gives more currency, although it's random currency. But the way you do it is you farm the final boss, you get a bunch of random currency, and then once you eventually finish off a few items, then you go and target farm the specific bosses.
Oh yeah, I should have an easy time doing that because I have mostly all EX3 Final Fantasy X units, so my bonus would be immense.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So for me, this will be kind of fun. For, players that watch my channel, I've been doing the whole new player stuff, like that secondary account. It'll be from my main account. This will obviously be very, very easy because my main account, well geared veteran account. I'll be able to perfect score all this probably on turn 1 for most of it. But so this will be fun to do for my new account actually, where I can go and I can do budget runs on the new account because it's a less than a week old account, and I can use that with very, very limited resources and see if I can make some videos perfect scoring with that account. I may or may not. I don't know if I'll be able to get a rank 1 on a week old account, but I can try, and I'm gonna try it.
I mean, you do have Olive and Sylvie, so yeah, it's a done deal, I'm sure.
It's been so good. No, that being said, Olive is going to easily hard carry the magical stages. I don't have any good physical units on that account, so any physical lock stages, I'm going to be in trouble. I don't remember if this one had physical magical lock stages or if they were all just universal. I don't remember. So we'll have to see.
Wouldn't Roberta work for the physical stages?
On my new account, she's only EX0. She can't Brave Shift, and her Brave Shift is the physical form. Yeah, she's only base form, which is only mage. But we'll see what happens. In any case, it'll definitely be a fun project for me this weekend to try that out. And the only other news is they're upgrading the permanent vision card select. So these are the new ones being added. Freya's card, Kaito's card. I think this is Marilyth's card, Fledgling Warrior's card. I don't remember who these are, and I don't remember who these are. But they're all being added to the vision card select. Kaito's card is really good for Brave Exvius physical damage dealers. So if you don't have things like Chizuru's card or premium cards or the banner cards, Kaito's card is really good. It's 125 attack power and 500 flat for Brave Exvius units only. It's really good. I think Chizuru's is a little bit better, but again, if you don't have Chizuru's, this is a good option. Pretty good.
All right.
And then the first part of the players' vote is coming in. The community voted for free weekly summon with a guaranteed Neo every week. So it's going to be starting up this week, and it'll be going for 10 weeks all the way until November 3rd. So log in and get your daily or your weekly 10 pull with a guaranteed Neo. So hopefully I can get another copy of Ferris, who I have gotten literally twice in a row on my main account from the daily 10 pull. Yesterday, I got a Neo Visions Ferris in the daily 10 pull. I'm like, oh, okay, nice, a Neo. She's already EX3. And then today, I got another Ferris in the daily 10 pull. That is insane luck, but also not luck because she was already EX3 before both of those.
Oh yeah, but that would be good for the new Final Fantasy V event coming up in the future. She could be a good bonus unit.
That is true, and that is JP news. But because it is Bart's, I will mention briefly that yes, the JP server tomorrow is adding Neovision's Bartz to the game. I don't have any information on his kit, so we don't know how strong he's going to be, if he's going to be good, if he's going to be terrible. We don't really know yet. All we know that he is not a premium unit, which I'm a little disappointed about because, I really love Bartz, and him being premium gives him a higher chance of being really strong. It's not a guarantee, though. There's definitely some non-premium good units in JP, so it really depends. We have to just wait for information tomorrow, because that'll be the patches tonight, so the data will be out tomorrow morning. So that'll be fun to see.
Oh, yeah.
But all right, that's pretty much the weekly news. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up, DarkFlare?
I would just want to wish everybody good luck if they're going to be polling on Thursday. And I wish everybody has a good rest of their morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're watching this.
Absolutely. And just a reminder, if you're on Facebook, you can now log in. So go ahead and get your daily Brave Exvius fix.
Oh, yeah.
All right. See you guys next time.